welcome to another episode of Tracy Takes On, all things politics. I'm joined this evening by Charles. Hello, Charles.
Hi, how are you?
And we're going to get started right in as soon as we let our other person in here because she's on her way. So I just want to get her in here first before we get started. There she is. So Talicia's also joining us this evening. And the Texas legislators who left the state, Governor Abbott decided that he's going to threaten to arrest them. Won't arrest Ted Cruz for going to Cancun, trying to go to Cancun, but let's leave that where it is. And so they met with Manchin. Manchin meets with them and says a whole bunch of nothing. Mm-hmm. And then decides to attend a Texas fundraiser. I want you all to listen to this. Not for Democrats, not for the Democratic Party, but Republican legislators in Texas. Somebody help me, because I can't today. I cannot today.
Well, Manchin's a Republican, so what more do we expect from him? He is literally a Republican, and everybody sees this. For some reason, he is controlling everything to include these United States. He is the most powerful Republican in office, dare I say president. And, he's always been this way. And even though folks are calling more and more attention to it, freaking mainstream media keeps calling it as both sidesism. Well, Manchin, he's doing what he can. He says he's doing what he can. No, he's not. Be a little more critical in your inquiries and find out why he is voting the way he's voting. Ask him how many people are donating to him and what side of the street are they on when they're donating. Find out what his true motivation is and then call him out for the filth.
Well, you know what? You can ask him all the questions you want to ask him, and he will not answer not one of your questions. He'll go off on some rant that I don't understand why the person who asked him the question didn't re-ask him the question, because he didn't answer the question. He just went off on something stupid. But you have to look at, what is the mindset of the people in West Virginia? Because I know that has to be a poor state. That state was poor when they closed the coal mine down,
right.
and then when they got the opioid
crisis
there, and they have to be voting against their own interests, because what he's doing is it's not helping them better their lives. So I don't know, are they holding on to that white supremacy belief?
Yes.
Yes, because for some reason Manchin is popular in West Virginia. I'm like, okay, something wrong with y'all. Something real wrong with y'all. He keeps getting reelected because he does two things well. He knows that the people in West Virginia are extremely conservative. Let's just put it like this. I call them Indiana light, because they are they're Indiana extreme. They are more conservative than my state. Way more conservative. So at one point I can understand the Democrats like, okay, we got to work with him because he's supposedly a Democrat. My question is, why don't they primary this person? I'm pretty sure if they could find someone in West Virginia to run against him, I'm almost certain they could do it.
There was a girl who ran back, was it 2016? When was his 6-year term? When did it begin? 2017, right?
Yeah, 2017.
So she ran against him. Her name was Paula Jean Swearingen. She came so close. I think she was like 10 points behind, but she almost won. Progressive Democrat. You'll see her on TYT from time to time. Really good message. Medicare for all the great stances, But I honestly feel what hurt her is the fact that she had that daggone D by her name. And then, of course, their messaging, Manchin is Republican, right? So their messaging so much better than ours. So of course he just dropped probably the socialism bomb, and everybody's scared away from it. I've even heard Black people saying, like one girl, she said, "Well, they're sick of the socialism in Cuba. That's what they're rebelling." No, honey, that's not it. So when everybody's so scared of that S word, they tend to go towards what's familiar and comfortable, the culture war. Because I kind of beg to differ with you, Tracy. I wouldn't call the people of West Virginia conservatives. They are white supremacists, and they also believe in that culture war nonsense. Because best believe they're having babies hand over fist out of wedlock. Opioid crisis has attacked them like nobody's business, and they drink more than any Popeye the Sailor Man. You know what I'm saying? So the simple fact is they're not conservative. They're just led by a racist ideology, and they believe in their racist culture war that keeps them fed and clothed, I guess, because they daggone sure don't have any money in the bank.
But they aren't being fed and clothed. West Virginia is one of the poorest states in the union.
That's what I'm talking about. Their racism must be keeping them warm.
I'm like, it's got to be. It's Kentucky and West Virginia. They're like right there at the bottom in terms
Absolutely.
of, they're at the top in terms of poor states. But yeah, they keep electing. I'm like, yep. Think about your own interests. And this is for everybody, no matter what state you live in. If you have a nitwit senator that can't vote with you in mind, why do you keep voting for them? What is it about them that you say, you know what, I'm going to vote for that person? Unfortunately, I have 2 Republican senators. Both are garbage. But both of them, I don't know which one is worse, Brom or Young. It's like a contest. It's like, who's going to outstupid each other today? Who's going to run it? But there's so many people in the same position. And especially in the red states, it's like, we got to balance it. We got to stop biting. So we'll do the, it just literally, it's like, no, we have to vote with our own interests. I'm sure not everybody in West Virginia is the way you described it.
No, because like I said, Paula Jean came so close, but that 10-point margin, it might have been less than that. It might have been 5, but however much he had more votes by, it's because of the culture war, the racism, the white supremacy, hands down.
But the media is a part of that too, because they'll upset. I mean, I got into an argument with a family member who kept trying to convince me that socialism came out of communism. I'm like, really? I'm not gonna see. This is where I stop discussing with you, because I that's when I stop. But
socialism did come out of communism, but we're not talking about. We're talking about democratic socialism. You know, when the government takes money from the people and reallocates it to whatever, that's socialism. That's what we do here. Except we reallocate that money back to the rich instead of taking care of the poor. When you allocate it to the rich, you don't call it socialism. But when you want it for poor or marginalized people, then you call it socialism.
Well, actually, socialism came out of Marxism, which is literally about letting the working class dictate how you do things. And then socialism goes a little bit further, making sure everybody has equality and equity, as opposed to just leaving it at the top for the rich. But in America, you're absolutely right, Charles. We recognize socialism for the rich and rugged individualism for everyone else. So there's definitely 2, maybe 3 different playing fields going on, because if you're white, you kind of got a key to the city. If you're poor and white, you don't have it as well as the rich, but you dang on sure got it better than Black people. And then if you're just rich, you're doing okay.
And that's the thing, is I don't think people understand what democratic socialism is. I'm like, okay, when your house catches on fire, you're calling the fire department. Guess what that is? That is socialism. The water company, the gas company, the cable company, anything that the government runs and you're paying taxes for, teachers' salaries, police officers, all of those things are what we would call, or what I would call, socialism. But the way that Joe Manchin probably did it was say, oh, look, it's going to lead to communism.
Oh, yes.
Socialism, communism, they're not the same. I'm with Talisha. It came out of Marxism, but it took it a step further. I have stopped arguing because if you want to believe that, you're going to believe it. Just like the people who think Trump is going to be reinstated on August. I'm not arguing with you anymore. You just gonna wake up disappointed and you're gonna be crying, and I'm gonna say I told you so. That's I'm done with you because it's just the electorate. He is highly popular in West Virginia, and I'm like, how? But you're right, Talisha. He's catering to that. The poorest white man is almost better than the richest black man. I mean, that's what he's seeping into, and that makes him racist. For him to go to a fundraiser, again, not for a Democrat. He did not go to a Democratic fundraiser for somebody in Texas. He went for a Republican. The Democratic Party needs to call him to the carpet and say, "What fool? What's your problem?
Right.
Let's just take this to the street like I know how to do it. Let's stop with all this pretty talk and let's work together and hold hands and sing We Are the World." No, what you doing in Texas, not at some fundraiser for a Republican. You can go and you get somebody else. But
well, I got to shout out Reverend Dr. William Barber because he was on Twitter this weekend and he called out Manchin and Cinema for the filth by name. So much so that I retweeted and added all of the squad because you're not going to get anything passed unless you name and shame so that people know who to go out and get. For them to just allude to people and allude to behaviors like Obama loves to do without actually saying the name, that's going to do nothing. Who are we going after? Who is they? Who doesn't want us to have this stuff? I don't know who that is.
Yep, and that's what they better do is remember that Beyonce or Destiny Child song, Say My Name. That's all I got. Yeah, y'all didn't think I knew that, did y'all? Because I'm like, y'all just let him just do anything. But I want to thank everyone for watching this and tuning in. Remember to comment, please. Like, share, subscribe, and support us on the Patreon. I'll see you guys next week. And thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Good night.
Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.